So tonight I wanted to go over a website that I just started using a few days ago. It's called Wheelwell. What it does, it allows you to track your car and everything that you have done to it, and it allows you to share it with others, and then you can see other people that have similar builds to your vehicle. So I took some time, started putting the 240SX on there. It tells you John Keenan's 1992 240SX. Gives you a mod score, which is it kind of gives you an idea of where you are compared to other people as far as mods you have done, that type of thing. So where it starts off is it gives you basic specs, tells you your horsepower, your torque, your 0 to 60, your mileage, your standing quarter mile. A bunch of this I don't have done yet because I have not gotten the car weighed yet. I have not taken it down the quarter mile yet. I have had the car dyno tested, dyno tuned. So my particular car is making 386.93 horsepower and almost 370 foot-pounds of torque. So I've documented that. I've shown pictures of the dyno testing, the dyno sheet. Then it allows you to put a little story in here about your car, which is kind of neat, so people can come on, they can read, why, what, where, when, all that type of stuff. Then it gets to kind of the fun stuff. These are all installed parts. I have 42 separate categories done so far. They start out with your air intake, your brakes, your cooling, your drivetrain, your electrical, your engine. I have to get a hold of, I don't have any copies of the drivetrain components, of what type of valves, what type of trundle, what went into it. I'm hoping that my mechanic still has that, so I can upgrade that and add to it. Then your exhaust, your exterior, your fluids. So I put, the car no longer can use 87 octane, it needs to use 93. I use full mobile synthetics in it. Then on your interior, things you have done, I have a 5-point roll cage, a new steering wheel, I have an interior battery box, I covered my glove and my center console with leather, your lighting, any safety equipment, I have a drive shaft safety loop. That's always a nightmare for me to think of that drive shaft coming loose and launching you like you're being launched out of a catapult. When for whatever $60 you can get a drive shaft safety loop, and that's it. It's no longer a concern. It's kind of like wearing a helmet when you're riding a bicycle. There's no point in not doing it. My suspension, I didn't really get too detailed into this. I had purchased a bunch of Godspeed components, so I just kind of lumped that together, and then in there I went through everything that I had. Wheels and tires, very important thing to me on that car was getting that squared stance. So I do have 18 by 9 5s in all four corners, and I couldn't be happier with the way the thing handles. It is literally like on rails. I believe the car would spin out before it would start to body roll. Then it gives kind of a fun category here. You can get into a wish list, things that you want to do to the car. One of mine would be painting it Ford Explorer white, which is like a paper white, as opposed to the car right now is a very cream color. It's an off-white, it looks dirty. I'm also going to get the interior done, which I've mentioned in other videos. I want to eventually get a really good high quality car cover for it, because right now my wife is kind enough to let me have the garage while I'm painting it, but typically her Ford Explorer is in the garage, and that's just what it is. That's what she wanted, and you know what, I'm fine with that. What else do we have? Then we have parts that have yet to be installed but that I own, like the C5 Corvette shifter. I have a set of Fender Flares that I have to put on the front because the front tires still stick out. The backs don't anymore because I put the overs on there, and they're tucked in nicely now. Then I also have high intensity lens lights for the front, and these really nice European turn signal lenses that are going to be going on the car. So instead of looking orange, which to me looks very dated, they're going to be white or clear. And we will take a look real quick. So if you say, oh, I'm interested in what a fuel pressure gauge is and where it was used, that type of thing. So you click on here and it brings you up to the next page where you get like a nice, I don't know why this is like this. You get like a nice picture of it, and it's, you have to put the picture on. And over here it gives you some information. You're going to review it. Like it asks you, why did you choose this particular product? I replied, because it was recommended for my build. When they were working on the car at the performance shop, they wanted to monitor the fuel pressure, so they put it in the engine bay. So while they were working, they could look at it, and I think it's pretty neat. How easy is it to install? It's inline, so it's really not a big deal. Does it meet your expectations? And I wrote, it's a fuel pressure gauge. It does what it needs to do. I don't need it to do anymore. And then again, people can look at this. So I guess if they're having a question about, they're going to put an LS1 motor in their car, they can look at this and see how I did it, which I think was done 100% correct. There was no cutting corners. There was no let's not do this instead of that. My car, which I've said before, the AC works, the heat works, the directionals work, the headlights work, the horn works, everything, the speedo works, the tach work. Very few cars you're going to see out there have a working speedometer, a factory one. My car has this stock tach, stock speedo working, and that's something I'm really happy with. That's something where when I look back at the money I spent on the car, that's where it went into, quality building like that. I think you're really hard pressed to get something like that out of doing it in your garage or backyard. Not to say it can't be done. I mean, I'm not cutting anybody down. If you can do it, fantastic. I just think it's a very difficult task. Anyway, yeah, that's Wheel Well. So you can go on there now and see my car. I also did this because I'd like to see if Matt Farah ever does a one-take shoot in New Jersey again, if I can get this car critiqued by him. So that was part of my goal. That was an underlying factor of why I chose Wheel Well. And I've already submitted this to him. And if he says, like, yeah, I'm going to be on the East Coast whenever, I will totally go out of my way to get this car to have him drive it, because I think that'd be great to have him test it. I'm very proud of it, and I think it's a fun ride. Anywho, that's what I have for you tonight. As always, I appreciate you watching. Have a good night, and I will catch you later.
If you enjoyed the video, please take the time to like and subscribe.